Hey sis. So I wanted to take a moment to talk to you about triggers. Now, many of you know if you've listened to any of my videos, I am a domestic violence survivor. And I was in two abusive relationships for a course of 21 years. And I've been out of the abusive relationship for about 16, 17 years now. And thank God, I am in a healthy relationship with a wonderful husband. But from time to time, I am triggered by something. It just comes out of the blue. And so I want you to know that triggers are real. And I am really talking more about triggers if you've experienced domestic violence. Triggers can come, you know, anytime. It doesn't matter how long you've actually been out of the abusive relationship, you can have a trigger. And so the reason that I'm really talking about this today is because it happened to one of my church members this morning, and she actually called me and she shared it with me. And she's been out of her abusive relationship for 30, 40 years. She's an older lady, and actually one of my aunts. She when she recognized that it was a trigger, it really really took her back, because that's how a trigger is. Whenever you're triggered by something, then it takes you back to as if you were actually in the situation. She had been in an abusive relationship in her marriage, and she was triggered today, so that actually took her back to when she was actually in the abusive relationship. And that's how a trigger works. Again, I've had triggers myself, and it's been like 16, 17 years since I was in the abusive relationship. And it takes you back for a moment. It actually takes you back to being in that abusive relationship. And so again, a trigger can happen at any time. It doesn't matter how long you've actually been out of the abusive relationship. You may still be triggered by something. A trigger can be a sound. In her case, it was a loud sound. It was a music that was really loud playing at church today. And that loud noise, it done something, because she shared and said it was okay for me to share. She shared that she had been, beat in the ear or in the head, and it affected her hearing. And so that loud noise that she heard, it did something to her. It triggered her. But a trigger can be anything. It can be a loud noise. It can be a smell. It can be a neighborhood that you ride in. It can be something that you see on TV. It can be music. It can be a color. It can be anything. And again, it takes you back to being in that abusive relationship. And so it's important for you to make sure that you do something. Once you recognize that you've been triggered, then you're going to have all kind of emotions. You're going to have all kind of emotions running through you, and you're going to feel like you're out of control. So it's important for you to make sure that you do something to help you feel the safety, the peace, and the calm again. Because a trigger, it takes you out of that feeling of safety. It takes you away from the feeling of being safe. And so as soon as you recognize that you've been triggered, then it's important for you to try to find, well, the quickest thing to do would be to do some deep breathing, some slow, deep breathing. But then to find some ways to help you find that calm again, to find that peace and that safety, because that safety is what you want. So some of the things that you can do is, I know she said that she was just going to go home. She's a woman of faith, and she started praying. for God to comfort her during that situation. And prayer is wonderful. But you can also do some other things, like you can journal, you can talk to someone. And that's the other thing that she did. She talked to me about, her experience, what was going on. And that made her feel safe again and a sense of calm. You can take a drive if you're able to. You can, you can do, like take a walk. Exercise is a good thing to help you feel calm and safe. So there are several things that you can do to help you be able to find that safety and that calm again if you are triggered. So, so hopefully that was helpful for you. Again, it's not an easy thing. It's not a good feeling if you've ever been triggered by something, but just know that there are things that you can do to help you regain a sense of safety if you've been triggered by something. So I hope that was helpful. And please remember to embrace every part of the woman that you see in the mirror.